Hey guys, here's another version of NFL 101. Let's transition here. All right. Like I said, this is, I think, episode 10 of NFL 101. Uh, yeah, so I got a special episode for you today. Um, finally, 10 episodes in. 10 episodes into the NFL 101, we are getting to on the field stuff. Excuse me while I uh, fix something. But yeah, finally we are getting into the NFL, like the actual like on the field football rules and stuff like that. So the first episode that's gonna be in here, or this episode is gonna be basically talking. So I pull out my notes. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. But this episode is going to be talking about. It's fairly simple. It's going to be talking about the phases of the game. So, um, as we get into the season, we'll do a lot more of these episodes and stuff like that. Anyway, so um, there are, as you are all watching football this next season or any NFL season, you will notice that there are that commentators and everybody else will say there are three phases of a game, and that is true. There are three phases of an NFL game: offense, defense, and special teams. I'm going to tackle special teams first, um, but this is just how the game is played: is three phases. So, special teams is where kickers, punters, um, return return people, and you'll see receivers and tight ends who couldn't make it onto the offense be here. You can see cornerbacks who couldn't make it on the defense be here, and you'll see some of those positions that did make it on the defense be in there as well. But this special teams is mainly for returning kicks, like kicking, punting, returning both kicks and punts, and also kicking field goals and all that. So special teams, while it has its place in the game, is probably the smallest phase. I would say because there's not really much. It, while it can win or lose a game, it can't. Otherwise, it won't have as big of an impact on it. The other two phases of the game, the other two phases teams take, have more of an impact on the game. And then, if the defense is good enough and on offense is bad enough, special teams can win a game. You know, the next phase is defense. So this is where all your defensive players are, like cornerbacks, defensive linemen, defensive tackles, defensive edges, safeties. All those people are safeties, linebackers. All any. If someone says they are a defensive position player, they will end up on a defense. You know, as soon as that one's kind of explanatory. So um, what happens on a defense is the defense's goal is to stop the offense from their goal, which I'll talk about when I get to the offense. The defense's goal is to stop the offense either by getting a sack, an interception, a loss of down, or an ineffective play. I should rather say, and or some other methods that they can use. Now, something I should explain is um, both offense and defense have 4 downs to achieve their goal. So let's talk about the offense, and then I'll talk about the down stuff, to kind of tie this all together. So offense's goal, their ultimate goal is, of course, to get into the end zone, score a touchdown. That's their ultimate goal. But they have several smaller goals throughout the game and throughout the field. Um, so the ultimate goal for an offense is to score a touchdown. Um, Now let's talk about the downs, and let me tell you, explain to you how this all breaks down in terms of offense and defense, and where special teams kind of fits in as as um, as it does. So um, in pursuit of the ultimate goal of getting a touchdown, an offense has to go in incremental distances down the field, and these are usually increments of 10. So um, when kickoff happens, and we have no kickoff rules, by the way, so be on the lookout for that. When a kickoff happens, so the transferring of the ball from one team to another for offensive possession, when kickoff happens at the beginning of the game, you will usually see wherever the kick returner returns it to, or most likely the 25-yard line. Like, again, I think it's different with these new kickoff rules, but previously it's been the 25-yard line for non-returns, or something called a touchback, where a kicker kicks a ball and it bounces out the back of the end zone. Oh, excuse me, not just kidding, come back. Anyway, so at the 25-yard line, and I'm just going to do it that way. At the 25-yard line, you often see a team if you're watching it on TV, you'll see they have 1st and 10, and the line of scrimmage, which is where all plays originate, is often indicated in a blue line, and the line to gain, which is where a team's offense needs to get to progress the ball or get a new set of downs, basically, is usually indicated by a yellow line. I will say on TV the line to gain and the line of scrimmage can be a bit off. So if you see like a couple feet difference between where the football is placed and the blue line for the line of scrimmage, it's usually all right. And this creates a few feet of difference in the line to gain as well, which can either hurt or help your offense. But anyway, so increments of 10 is where all downs start. Now, a team has 4 downs, 4 chances basically to get that 10 yards. So it goes 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down. So that means, consequently, a defense has 4 downs to either stop that offense by way of sack, or basically defending them really well, or to get an interception for their team to change possession. But an interception isn't necessarily needed to stop an offense from an ultimate goal of scoring the touchdown. And this is also a bit, I know I talked about penalties before, this is also a little bit where penalties come into play, so these 4 downs, again, ultimate goal is a touchdown. So if you get a penalty that drives your offense back 5 to 15 yards, that's going to be bad. If you get a defensive penalty that takes the offense 30 yards forward, closer to the end zone you're defending, that is also a bad thing. So penalties. This is where penalties kind of play a bigger role. It's the offense and the defense kind of vying for their ultimate goal of either scoring a touchdown or stopping them from scoring a touchdown. Anyway, but yeah, that's what happens. That's where penalties come into play. It can either be driven back or driven forward, depending on what penalty is called. And this is also where special teams comes into play a little bit during the game. Is, of course, as I said before, the team transferring possession usually kicks it off to the other team taking the possession. Um, and that happens if an offense fails to fails to get a touchdown, or or in pursuit of touchdown fails to get the 10 yards necessary to reset the downs. They will punch it off, or they will try and get a field goal out of it if they are close enough. Now, field goals can take a couple different forms depending on your kicker. If your kicker is really good and has a really strong leg, you could try. You will see teams try to take a field goal that's exceeding of 30 to 40 yards. But if it's a team in the red zone, they'll usually take the field goal if they can't get the touchdown. So that's really the three phases of the game: is offense trying to score a touchdown, defense is trying to prevent a touchdown, and the special teams is really just the in between. It's the transference of possession from one offense to the other offense. Again, I mentioned interceptions before, and that's a more direct way for a team to take possession from the opponent. But I'll explain that a little bit later, in more depth at least. But anyway, that's all I had for the three phases of the game in the NFL, or in football at least. Be on the lookout for more of these episodes. As we get closer to the NFL season and as the NFL season starts, you're going to be seeing a lot more of the on the field type of player playing the game type of stuff. All right, let me get one more transition out of the way, and make sure you guys, if you liked it, like the video. If you want to subscribe, and if you feel led to, check out the Patreon in the description. See you guys later.